Hello YouTube, it is I, Domo, from Team Card F, or Cardfight channel, or whatever you want to call us. And we are here today, or I am here today, to bring you a new episode to the intro to Vanguard G, Part 7, because it's Part 6, and Part 7. So basically, in today's Part 7 intro of Vanguard G, we are going to do our first, or no, am I going to put this in Vanguard G? No, this is just a new video. Okay, screw all that I just said. This is going to be a first impression on the new Vanguard G anime because the newest episode came out, episode 2, and I have gotten some more insight on the anime, and I'm here today to give you my first impression on the whole show, and whether it's characters, story, setting, and the game itself, and everything. So, first off, I want to say spoiler alert because the videos are on YouTube and I just watched the latest episode on YouTube. So, and I will be using clips and stuff from the anime to showcase the point and talk about it and discuss. So if you haven't watched either episode, then don't watch this video. Go watch the things right here, looking up on YouTube, and watch them first. Do that right now. If you haven't, maybe we'll put a link, but if you have not watched the episodes yet, then go watch them right now. I'll wait. And take a drink. Alright, you probably watched the episodes already. So, yes. So today, I'm going to give you my first impression using both episodes. So first of all, I want to say, out of watching the episodes already, in summary, the anime is really good. I love the Vanguard G anime. The characters are awesome. The setting is awesome. And I just love the way it's going right now. And that's basically a summary of the whole video. But I'm going to describe it in detail now. So yeah. So, first off detail, I want to talk about the differences in the animes. So one of the things that are really different in this anime, Vanguard G itself, from the original, is the fighting and the card game itself. Or not the card game, but them fighting in the anime. So usually, if you watch a Vanguard episode, you're going to be, very detailed on everything. I stand up Blaster Blade, I call these cards, and I attack, I twin drive, and get critical, and I damage check, and all that stuff. That's usually how episode would go. Lots of detailed fighting. In this one, there isn't so much detailed fighting. It's more towards, I would say, the imagination, the visualizing, and, you know how in Vanguard you're supposed to imagine, or your imagination, and the imeji, or whatever. So yeah, basically Vanguard G is more leaning towards that kind of aspect, and it might be because it's just the first 2 episodes and we're still learning, but if I show you an explanation of what I mean, if we go to the first episode and we look at the very first fight with Chrono against Kamui, we'll see just how different the animation looks and how I'll narrate as the video plays. So he's gonna ride. Actually, no. See those purple circles. So I want to say, right now, that the Vanguard here is really different. And I mean different in a good way because it's so unique. It's more, really unique, and I like it. So you have, those flying circles when they ride. And then, you're, they're astral. Let me see the astral bodies. See the astral bodies and all that stuff, and then when they ride, there's those circles. Then you blah. You ride. You stand up on Cray, and I just really want to say in the first episode that the imagination part of the series itself was really put important in a way. Considering that, in the first episode of Vanguard, in the original one, it was Aichi, or the characters learning about Aichi, and his half of the fight with him and Kai. And, part 2 of the fight didn't happen until episode 2. In this whole episode, we get the whole fight in one episode. And we see the characters, some of them, and Chrono learns to fight in just one episode. So in the old Vanguard, it'd be like episode 1 and 2 put in one. And what I mean by that is that in this fight, they don't go into detail of the card fighting itself, but they're just more showing off the fight. Like, I'll show it off somewhere. Like this. So Kami rides, grade 2, calls rear guard, probably an 8K, and then he attacks. I also want to like show off more about the imagination qualities because Kamui's riding his mechs now. That was the thing. So attack. Oh, I took damage. Second attack and oh yeah. So I really forgot what I was talking about, but basically they're showing a lot more of the imagination and the visualization of the fight more than the card detail itself. Because why? Because Vanguard has been out for a long time, and if you don't know what's happening, then I guess you should pay attention to detail or something like that. But basically, the whole fight was Kami rides grade 2. He attacks with his Vanguard, he gets hit, takes the damage, and then his rear guard attacks and he takes the damage. It's not shown here because after that attacks, Chrono's just like, oh man, the imagination's so good. This is really interesting. They didn't show it. The cards, the field, everything. But you could tell. Kami rides grade 2. Attacks his grade 1 Vanguard. Then the rear guard attacks. He took 2 damage. So it must be 2-0. Oh, 2-1. Yeah. So yeah. Even though they don't show the fight on the field in detail itself, you could still tell what's going on through the animation. And that's sort of why I kind of like these short fights, or like these not brief short fights, but like less in detail. They're more showing of the visuals and the imagination in the fight itself. So a perfect example would be right here, where Chrono rides Chrono Jet Dragon, which is pretty awesome. That has the name in it. So he rides, and then look at this part, beatdown time. See that whole sequence? They put so much detail in the fighting on Cray. But basically what happened was, I attack with Chrono Jet Dragon, I no guard, and take a damage. That's basically what happened in that one sequence. Like, look at that. That's it. 1 damage. So, it just goes to show that the fighting is still there, but it's not shown in card-wise and in detail, which is really interesting. But I'm pretty sure later in the series they will go back to detailed card fighting or whatever. But for now, like, I could tell what's going on, yet I can't really tell in terms of card wise, like on the field. So that's just one of the very huge differences for now. I mean, they implement this in episode 2 as well, and I will get to that later. But basically, I really wanted to talk about this portion of the anime itself, because it's so, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure in the original Vanguard they did that also. They did short, brief fights where it's like, oh, attack, 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 and then you just see the loser or whatever. You don't actually see a fight. But, you know, in here, they do it so great with the imagination and the visualization and the imagination. Yeah. So many huge words. So that's what I really like about it. And considering that Chrono is a beginner in this episode, and he's like, you know, you're taught when you learn Vanguard in the anime. Excuse me. When you're taught in this anime about Vanguard, you're told to always imagine everything. And in here, Chrono is learning to imagine the game and visualize everything that's happening. And when they do, it's just a great extent of what Chrono and Kami are really imagining. Because, like, so this is basically Chrono's imagination of ride and his attack with his Ace Vanguard. And if you look at it, boom, ha, kick. Like, those are like really strong imaginations, and that's how probably like it's being portrayed in the fight itself, not as resting a card sideways and announcing your attack, but in terms of visualizing it in person. And then Kamui is like really banged up. It's like, oh, ow, yeah, damage. That you don't see that in real card fights unless you like personally imagine it yourself. But I just really want to put the emphasis and talk about the imagination and visualization parts on Vanguard in this series because they put it to a whole greater length, hopefully. So, overall, that's basically one of the differences of Vanguard G and a good thing I really like about the series. So, in one episode, Chrono learns how to fight. In Vanguard, the original one, it took 2 episodes for Aichi to be Kai and learn the rules. In here, the rules are already there because everyone knows about it, but, in terms of introduction, we learned about Stride. And that's just about it for that. So now, with episode 2, basically this is like a lot of analysis in here. So in episode 2, we already know that Chrono knows how to fight, but now we get more into the setting of the world of Vanguard and this area where they live in. So if we go, Chrono returns back to Card Capital, and then we learn about these. So basically what this is a FICA. And FICA, basically FICA means fighting card. Yeah, fighting card. And then what these are in the new world of Vanguard G, it's basically like drink. Basically what these are, FICAs, are identification cards. Basically, it's like if you had a tracker for your information, like your fights, your wins, your losses, and all that stuff. Here, hopefully they'll explain this here. Okay, so enough of the FICA card. So basically, FICAs record your wins, your information, like all that stuff, ranks. It's like a video game within the anime, within the card game. Yeah. It's not really what it is, but hopefully you guys understand. It's basically like a sort of video game tracker thing. Like your ranking and like those kind of things. And then also we have the Viva, or the Friendly International Vanguard Association, from reading this right here. Basically, this organization is like giving a lot of support to Vanguard, the game itself, and like, they distribute the FICAs, they give like whole rankings and everything, and like they sponsor the game so much. Let's just watch. Yeah, exactly. And we also have a Vanguard network. So basically, like Vanguard in this world or this anime / setting has evolved so much in the time from the Legion Mate season, and that makes sense because considering this takes place 3 years after the end of the Legion season. So much stuff has happened technologically and like in the world itself, and it's a lot to talk about in just like a few episodes. But basically it's still an introduction because this is just episode 2. And episode 2 of Vanguard, in the original one, Aichi beat Kai and that was it. And they all, like I said, everything is happening so quickly at a good pace. I think it's a good pace. Because at first, I was just like, alright, I want to see a fight in the next episode, or like between the Royal Paladin guy and Chrono. But then, no, we don't get that. We get to see more of the world. So it's like, oh, that's still fine, I guess. So as I talk about the VG network, the VG network is basically, like I said again, a video game. Basically, you go into this network or card shops, and then you download quests. Like video game quests, really. And basically these quests help you level up in terms of grade in your FICA or your fighting card and your profile and all that stuff. So it's really weird seeing this. It's basically, I guess I would say, I don't know, it's like Facebook or something. I don't know what these things are. It's like, I've never seen these things before, but it's like a game sort of thing. So like, it's really weird in the world of Vanguard, but it's fine in a way, because saying this is not the original, like, this is not the Vanguard that we knew back then with Legion. This is 3 years into the future, and we have all this technological stuff. And I want to go back to episode 1 to talk about this technological stuff, like the fighting tables, these things. So, like, these things don't work unless you have the FICA. And then, like, he inserts it in, commonly inserts the FICA in, stand up Vanguard, and the table turns on. Like, look at that. That's just awesome. That's futuristic technology. And at first, the table isn't on and you don't see a field until you turn it on with the FICA. And then there's also, like, the world selection and the area. So, like, they're going into detail of the world of Cray itself, and there's just, like, so much new things. Like, okay, he goes here, it's that nation or zone, and then you get to pick your area of wherever in the world of Cray, and this is like technology, man. Okay, if I want to compare this in terms of technology, imagine in the first season or first original series, they had motion figure systems, basically like the glove, and then like they had the whole fight happening right there in front of them. That's basically the technology back then, but then they still have it here. But now they have the VG network, they have FICA fighting cards. Fighters cards, FICAs are fighters cards. They have tables, well, not tables, like, card fighting tables that turn on through FICAs. They have the Vanguard network, the Vanguard Association, the quests, and all that stuff. This is so new and futuristic. It's getting sci-fi here. So back to more of the stuff. So basically, fighters can do quests or get quests from the Vanguard network that are distributed from Vanguard Association. So if you see a quest right here, is this who I think it is? No, it's not. Please find me. It's my first time using this client, so I want to try out various things. That's an example of a quest, and it's grade 3. So, like, these are really, like, video game kind of esque elements in here, but, like, really, it's so weird, but I like it. So, like, you choose your area where you're in, you'd find a quest, so here's another quest. Go up against a fighter with a different clan and make friends. That's a quest, really, and like, what the heck? That's so easy. I do that all the time on Cardfight area. I'm just kidding. What's this one? No. So, like, there's also the quest like this. Like, I lost a card at the park. Please help me find it. Like, this is basically a video game within an anime, within a card game. Wait, did I say that right? Whatever, you know what I mean. Basically, it's a video game-esque element, quest thing, which is so weird in a way, but I like it. I really like this. So, takes the quest, and where am I getting at? I'm still in the setting. So basically, all I'm trying to say here, and emphasis in this part, is basically the setting of Vanguard is so different and new that it's just awesome. And I know that, it's still in the introductory phases of the anime itself, the setting, the characters, all that stuff, but it's going at a good pace. And I've said that before. Next, I want to talk about... What do I want to talk about? No, that's about it. Yeah. So, I talked about the setting, and... Well, actually, yeah, I've talked about a lot about the setting. Did I? I'm pretty sure it was all setting. So now I want to talk about characters and character development. That's all enough for setting and the world of Vanguard and the game itself. So in terms of the changes, interview, we looked at the imagination and how they portray the anime in the fights, and then we looked at the setting, and now I want to talk about characters. Now characters, we have seen a lot of characters in this series already enough. At first, it's Chrono Shindo. Next, it's Kamui and that Kagero guy. I don't know his name. The president or whatever, the girl. I don't know her name. Then the blonde guy who plays Royal Paladin. The card shop. And basically, what I'm trying to get with character development is that, at first, we had to introduce the characters of this anime slash setting. And in the first episode of Vanguard, or the first 2 episodes, it was Aichi, then he met Morikawa, and the Tachikaze guy, seriously can't remember his name, and then they led to meet Miwa and Kai. So Aichi, being the main protagonist, met the bullies, and then was led to meet Kai as rival, and then Miwa. So if we look here, we see Chrono meet Kamui, and then basically that's the whole fight. That's episode 1 and 2 in a nutshell. And then the whole fight. And then Stride. So then, and if you also look at the name of the episodes, the first episode was named after the protagonist, Chrono Shindo. It's literally called Turn 1 or Episode 1, Shindo Chrono or Chrono Shindo, whatever you prefer. So basically, what that means is that we're learning about this character because he's the protagonist with Gear Chronicle. And then Episode 2. If you don't know the episode name of this thing, it's called Turn 2 or / Episode 2, Kamui Katsuragi. And we already know about Kamui since the first episode, but we get more detail on him. Why? Because after the first episode happened, Chrono goes back to Card Capital, meets Shin also, and Kamui, and then Kamui just basically throughout the whole episode teaches him about the FICAs, the Vanguard Association, quests, and everything. Because why? Because he's a support / sort of main character. And then we also get out of here. I'm trying to do a video. We also I want to go find these guys. I want to talk about these guys. Alright, Ginyu Force, I swear. So basically, we also learn about these guys. These are support characters, or minor characters. They aren't really important. Well, I don't think they're really important, but basically, think of them as Morikawa and the other guy. I seriously can't remember his name, but I really wish I could. Tachikaze guy. And it's funny, in a way, because these guys bully Chrono in this episode. So, you know, I like Morikawa hair. And basically, like, it's happening all over again. Where Chrono meets the other 2 students. I don't know their names, but I know right here these three. We don't know them yet, but eventually later. Then we meet Kamui, then we meet Shin, then we meet the Kagero guy, and then we meet these 3, who are basically the bullies or the replacement Morikawa. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Okay, forget about it. You know what I mean. This is basically the ones who would probably bully Chrono / Morikawa, and like they're gonna be like probably I don't know, they're just gonna be like they're minor characters, yet they're like kind of supporting the main character in a way, because Chrono and this guy, the leader, really hate each other, and like they're like rivals in a way. Yeah, better way to describe it. So then they get into fights a lot, all the time, because they're sort of important or sort of minor. And then we also see her, and then we also see him in the next episode. Why? Because these characters will be really important later on in the future. Why? Because they're quote unquote the new vanguards or the leaders of this series. And also we also see, I want to go back here. And also here. So even though they're not shown technically in anime, if you look at the subtitles or on the phone, basically Kamui is talking to Miwa, Aichi, and Kai about the Gear Chronicle clan. And basically, I was really excited to see this because Aichi and Kai aren't technically dead and out of the series. Considering Aichi was already at, actually, I should go here. Because Aichi is right there. So, in terms of characters, there's a lot of characters from the old series that are still alive and in here, in this one. And I already said spoiler alert, so if you're like shocked at this, then I said spoiler alert at the beginning, most likely. So, in terms of like setting, the setting is work, and the characters are also being shown and developed as well, or developing, because we're learning about Kamui, and we see that the characters still exist from the old series, and they're still like going to play a role in the series itself. And we also, if I show here, see Misaki. We see Misaki is like, yes. We already saw Aichi, Misaki, Kamui, and not Kai, but it's okay because Kai's random. So in terms of characters, there's just so many more characters that we will meet. Why? Because in episode 3, the preview, I will talk about that probably after this. But there's just so much that we have to do in so little time. The setting is new and still being introduced. The characters, we haven't met all the characters yet, but they will be there eventually. And so far, this anime is going at a good pace that we are starting to learn everything. We're not learning too much, but we're not doing much in a way. It's good and bad. Or it's fine. In quote, it's fine. So in terms of more character development, if we look at the trailer for episode 3, I don't want to go look at this, you can watch the shit. Okay. Here we go. So, if you look at this image here, we see the Vanguard Coliseum. And most likely this is a place for tourneys to Vanguard fight or do stuff for Vanguard related and fight. And if you look at the title of the turn/episode, it's a name of a person, Ibuki Koji. And if you don't know who this is, then you should really watch our videos on the Neon Messiah movie trailer, because that is the name of the antagonist or / villain in the Neon Messiah Cardfight Vanguard movie, who used the deleters, and I have not seen the movie, so I would assume that stuff happened in the movie, and now Ibuki Koji is making an appearance in Vanguard G. And if you also pay attention in the opening of the anime, he's in the opening that with Chrono. So, like I said, we still have a lot of characters who are going to be shown in anime and play a supporting role for the new characters here. And we also have more to the setting and the world that developed, like the Vanguard Coliseum. I seriously don't know what the heck that is. I don't know what they do there. They might be doing card fights for fun or tourneys or whatever. So there's a lot to learn, and these first 2 episodes really do a great job at explaining and showing the setting and the characters. And even though we're not fully 100% complete about the setting and the characters, we have lots of more episodes to go, and to find out more and to get to have everything complete, we need to watch the next episode, which will come out next week. So, like I said, in summary, at first we talked about the imagination and visualization of the fights, the card fights, and how less detailed and less card fighting they are. But that will probably change later on. Next, we go into the setting and how the future of Vanguard and the future of Cardfight Vanguard, the game itself, changed with the FICAs, the Vanguard Network, the quests, and we go into characters because we see Chrono, the Shion, Toka, I think that's the girl's name, the main characters, Kamui, Shin, Aichi, Miwa, Kai, Misaki, the Ginyu Force people. So there's so much stuff happening, and it's all going at a good pace. And it's still sort of staying true to Vanguard, the Vanguard name, which I really like, and I'm just really loving this series, and I can't wait to watch the next episode. So this is probably a long ass video, because I'm looking at 28 minutes right now. So I want to apologize right now if it's very long, and I know that it could be a pain to watch a long episode or long time episode videos on YouTube or stuff. I just really hope that you weren't bored or anything. I really wanted to talk about this anime because I love it and a lot, and if you were bored, I apologize. If you skipped this part, I apologize. But there was so much to talk about and so much that I saw that it's really thing. So I want to make note that this may be a anime review slash first impression. And if you don't know that I don't do these things normally on the Cardfight channel, I usually do it on the Domo Talks channel, which I used to do anime gaming stuff or whatever. And then this first impression slash anime look or episode review or whatever you want to call it is going to be the only one of its kind. I'm just giving my first impression of the anime as of now. I will not do an episode 3 review or analysis. I will not do a final episode review. I will not, or maybe I might do that, but I won't do like, I'm not gonna go look at every episode and then review it because I'm not an anime channel. We're not an anime channel. Cardfight Vanguard is a Cardfight channel, even though this is really important because this is like the anime sense of the game or the Cardfight in general. So, I mean, if you really want someone to do, or like you want to make us do anime reviews on the episodes, then comment below because I will gladly do that, or someone else will do it. I will gladly look at the episodes if you really, really, really want us to do it. I won't put it on the Don't Talk channel, I'll put it here because it's Cardfight related. So, put that in the comment section if you really want to. So this will be the end of the first impression. Overall, I want to summarize once more. The anime is really good and it's going at a good pace and we're learning a lot of new things, and it's just about later, eventually in time, it'll get good and more story development. So that is the end of this first impression. I hope you guys weren't bored and enjoyed some of it and liked it. You did like this video because it really helps us and you get to, people see what kind of videos you like the video, and, give us some, show spotlight and stuff like that. So, yes, like the video. Comment if you really, really want us to do more anime reviewing or whatever, or Vanguard G, or analysis stuff because it helps. And subscribe because we will get more videos like this, card fights, all that stuff. And if you subscribe, you will also be updated when we upload a video. So that's good to know. And wow, that's a lot of talking. So take care, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video on the Cardfight channel /Team Card F.